Thank you guys so much for doing this. I know this is going to help a lot of people, so I'm super grateful and really excited to get all of our, burning questions answered. So if you guys don't mind introducing yourselves.
Yes, my name is Leslie Sixtos Cruz, and I am a law clerk at Exodus Immigration. And here we have attorney Joshua Barron.
Josh Barron, I'm an attorney. I do immigration and criminal defense cases in Utah, and really excited to be able to talk to you today.
Yay! Well, again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And I have a list of questions. My first, its official question is, common law marriage is a qualification? Because I know some states, they consider that a marriage, I guess, but it's not very specific. So I did want to ask you guys if that's something that you've come across in the past when it comes to just other spouses petitioning spouses.
Yeah, so as long as you have a marriage certificate, it doesn't have to be just in the U.S. It can be anywhere in their foreign country. As long as they have that as proof, we're good to go with that.
On marriage, sometimes people, sometimes think like kind of an informal relationship qualifies as common law marriage. In a lot of states, you have to be holding yourself out as married. Like, you can't be like, we've been living together for 10 years, but we're actually not married. So the requirements to actually have something that qualifies as a common law marriage are pretty technical. But if you meet those requirements, and those requirements were met before the new parole in place deadline, then if you can get that certificate to say that you were married as of a date before that deadline, then you're fine.
Okay. And I probably got that question a lot because Texas is one of those states where after a certain amount of years, it's considered common law marriage.
That's a new issue, but I think they're going to defer to the state law. So if the state law, if they'll give you a certificate that says you were married as of May of this year, then I think that would very likely qualify.
Then you're good to go. Okay, perfect. Do we have any idea of how long the process is going to take?
It's a good question, but no, we don't know. This is obviously the first time that they're doing this kind of program and first time applying. So it's going to be a lot of trial and error on USCIS's part. So no, but on average for almost every case in USCIS, we see about 8 to 12 months. Just to have an idea to start off with. Could be sooner, could be longer. But since they are trying this out, we should expect a little bit longer.
They're going to get a rush of applications too. So take that into consideration. Maybe in one of them.
Yeah, and usually they don't tell us this is how long it's going to take. They say, we're granting applications that were filed on this date.
Right.
It'll take until they start granting applications for us to really see how long it might take. But again, it fluctuates. If there's an election and there's a new president, that might push a bunch of people to. So it's very difficult sometimes to predict exact times with USCIS.
And with that, I'm not sure if it'll be available for this new parole in place, but there is a cool tool on uscis.gov that you can check out processing times as well. So that it's already existing, for example, like I-130 petitions, I-485 adjustment of status, I-601A provisional waiver. So you just click on the applicable application and then what office is reviewing that, and that'll tell you, for example, like in 40 months or in 12 months. So we're hoping to have that for the new parole in place, but we're not sure yet until we check that out maybe sometime next week or in a few months.
Yeah, it's all so new and so much still needs to come out. So we're just so eager, I did get this question a lot. There were certain people who've already been approved for the I-130. And they were asking, if I've been approved, I got my approval applied, should I still apply for this specific program or just go through that route? Like, just do what I'm doing, follow that path, or should I do both?
So like, you have a pending petition and then you go into removal proceedings. Saying that I already had this pending petition really helps your case and can make it easier to get a bond. There's just even if we know that we're not going to get relief right away, just asking for relief can give you a lot of protection.
Okay, and they probably don't know that because, with the new process that people, like I said, people are so eager to just kind of get in line that they might not realize that they're under protection when they're in a process. So that's really good information because I feel like a lot of people don't know that. My next question is, if you had, whether it was a felony or some sort of criminal charge on your record, but you got it expunged, would it be a good idea to apply for, honestly, any process? Because I don't know if this is true, but I read that when it comes to immigration, they tend to be able to see things that were removed anyway. So I don't know if that's something you guys would advise to go for, or maybe consult with a lawyer.
So I can answer for Utah. Other states, we generally have to check with attorneys who practice in that state. But in Utah, immigration does not recognize Utah's expungement process.
Okay.
So having an expunged charge in Utah is exactly the same as having a conviction. But there's a pardon process that's actually pretty open. And so even in cases where our clients qualify for expungement, sometimes we advise them to ask for a pardon, because the pardon is the thing that's actually going to be recognized in Utah by immigration. So
Okay.
once pardoned, it's as if they had not been convicted before. In expungement, it just like they just disregard the expungement. They don't look at it. And if it's difficult to access the records, it can actually be more difficult to apply with an expunged charge. Whereas if something's pardoned, like immigration really recognizes that in Utah. So if a different state used a different expungement process and immigration was recognizing that expungement process, that answer might be different for other states.
Okay, so it would be a state-by-state basis, and I haven't heard of that, of the pardon, so that's really good information. I appreciate that. What type of documentations can I use for big gaps? Because, for example, like if you just have a W-2 or a tax return for like a whole year, is that sufficient, or do you guys recommend other types of form to show evidence of being like present?
So yes, the taxes are a really big one that does show. And normally when people have gaps and they don't have documentation to show, they could have letters, such as supporting letters from employers, from community members in the church, anyone that they're associated with. They can do family members and friends, but it's honestly more recommended to do people that don't have that kind of relationship to show legitimacy. And so they can always have supporting letters, but of course, pictures to show, hey, I was here in the United States. Obviously, for example, like Disneyland is located in California. This was the date on the picture and stuff like that. So receipts, I shopped at Walmart in November 12 of 2000, whatever, it clearly shows I was here. So just, we have to be super creative when it comes to supporting documents. Like screenshots of Facebook is really good because Facebook records the dates, the time, and the location as well. And so again, just be creative. Doesn't have to be like only legal documents, but also like any visits to the hospital during that time, any bills, just super creative.
And I mean, who doesn't document their entire life on social
We're
media?
always on Instagram, right? We're posting stories. Hey, I'm here, so might as well use that.
Exactly. Okay, that's awesome.